Hello, let's talk about a common ADHD symptom, which is RSD. RSD stands for Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria, dysphoria being the Greek for difficult to bear. And it refers to an extreme emotional sensitivity and pain that is triggered by the perception that you've been rejected or criticized. Now, of course, nobody likes that, nobody likes being told off. But if you have ADHD, it goes way deeper than for neurotypical people. It really cuts deep, it's visceral. And this can lead into a rapid and intense emotional reaction, such as feeling devastated, angry, or ashamed. And this gets triggered not only by real rejection and criticism, but also by perceived and anticipated ones. Imagine, for example, you post something online and someone starts commenting and you think, oh, he's criticizing me or contradicting me. Oh my God. You take it as a personal affront. You cannot let this slide and you end up in a rabbit hole of flame war. Is it worth it? No. Does knowing that stops you? No. The other reaction would be to doubt everything you've ever done and said and written. You delete the comment, you delete your whole profile, and you never dare posting ever again. Or it could be a friend or a colleague that tries to correct something you're doing wrong. Now, if they're not careful in how they do it and what they say, or the tone of voice even, it can easily be seen as a vicious personal attack, a real dig. And the reaction is heightened anxiety and a massive burst of freeze fight or flight. Now, there is not just one thing we think that causes RSD, but one of the main things that exacerbates it seems to be that we go through life being confronted to microaggressions on a very regular basis from childhood. We've heard all of our lives things like, you could do better if only you paid attention. Stop being so lazy, being told off being disorganized, for being late, for being forgetful, or stop fidgeting all the time, and so on and so on. That, on top of having a harder time to regulate our emotions compared to normal people, that makes us super sensitive. So we develop a blend of coping mechanism. We can become people pleasers. We mask and we present whatever version of ourselves that we think the others will accept or tolerate. This is done by mimicking the behavior of everybody around us and adjusting ourselves accordingly, just to protect ourselves from judgment. You find yourself in a biker bar? You find yourself in a conference room full of salespeople? Or at a party with hippies? Yeah, that's fine. You can deal with that. You can adapt instinctively. Have you ever wondered why there's so many actors with ADHD? It's because they've been acting all their lives. They're good at it. It's also quite useful, actually, if you're a therapist, to build rapport. But doing it continuously, all of your life, is mentally exhausting. Sometimes, one of the strategies would be to become a pathological liar. You become so used to come up with excuses for why you're late, or why you forgot to do the thing, or why you got distracted, why you lost the thing, that you instinctively come up with stories all of the time. Sometimes you even do it when you don't even need to cover yourself, and it's not malicious, it's not even a conscious choice. It just becomes a deeply ingrained habit. It's a defensive mechanism. And actually, even if someone calls you out on it, you'll deny it, and you will come up with reasons why it's not true. And yeah, this can lead to some serious trust issues. Another strategy is to stop trying, because the possibility that one might fail or fall short in front of anyone else becomes too painful and risky, so why bother? No matter how bright and capable you think you are, you end up avoiding any kind of anxiety-provoking activity, and you just give up on dating, applying for jobs, public speaking, and you might be on your own, but hey, at least nobody turns you off. But that's not a good way to live, really. Another way is to go actually the opposite direction, and you work overtime to overachieve, and you want to be the best of everything so you can be beyond reproach. Now, this is exhausting and it's near impossible to achieve anyway. And you can end up becoming a bit of a know-it-all, which can be useful in some ways. Yeah, it's good to be an expert at some things, but it can irritate others when you know everything all the time. I know, I'm guilty of that. And with ADHD, we tend to do that a lot because we're being very curious by nature, and we tend to be jack of all trades, so that's something it's a trap we may fall into. We just end up overestimating ourselves a bit. Just a bit. So basically, all those strategies are all avoidance strategies. We go out of our way to not be criticized, or we try to become uncriticizable, if I can say it right. It's exhausting, it's costly mentally, emotionally, and physically. So, what can you do to actually deal with the RSD itself then? Well, I will ignore the medication option because, well, I'm not qualified to talk about it or advise on it, and I think that for most people it's the nuclear option. But the option is there, and well, if you think it might suit you, it might be something you might want to explore. That's fine. For me, what has made a big difference is just being aware of it and understand that it's a symptom. It has a name. It helps me recognize it. And when I get that gut-wrenching anger coming right up over, I remember it's just a symptom. That signal is an overreaction, and I will need to double-check that. Double-check what it's trying to tell me. And I remind myself that I don't have to react immediately. I don't have just to lash out. Just wait a few minutes. Because then you can just stop a few minutes before writing that email or posting that comment on Facebook. Step back first. Wait for that surge to pass. Then I reevaluate. Can the email I received or the post I've read be interpreted differently? Because it's quite tricky when you got things in writing. You don't always get the tone behind it. And also, will my snappy, witty and destructive comment achieve anything positive? Well, the answer is often no. Or, if it's in a conversation, before smacking them back down, maybe you could ask clarification first. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you didn't mean it that way. And again, is it worth the effort to put them back in their place? Quite often, no. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect and that I act accordingly all the time. No. Sometimes I'm tired. Also, I'm fallible. But the more you learn to step back, take a breath and reassess, the better you get at it. And you start to realize that often the thing that you reacted was not an attack after all, and it was not something worth your time or effort. You can retrain your brain to be more chilled out and zen-ish. Of course, yeah, it will take time. Now, with hypnotherapy, you can work as well on the accumulated micro-traumas that you've hoarded all over your lifetime, and you can just process it or sometimes even get rid of it. You can learn to let go of all that junk that you've got there at the back, the subconscious hoard you've got there at the back. All those self-doubts that are due to repeated criticism can be binned, and you can learn to be kinder to yourself. You can rebuild some resilience and just remember all the skills you have, all those things you can do, and all those things you have to offer. Now, the RSD impulse must still be there, but you can learn to mitigate it in a healthier way. And yes, none of it is perfect. But you know what? Nothing is. And that's okay. Now, if this resonates with you, and maybe you want some help dealing with that RSD of yours, yeah, feel free to contact me. I will have my details down there in the description. And just give me a shout. And please feel free to leave a comment to let me know about your experience of RSD and how you are dealing with it. Maybe you've got other ways to deal with it in a healthy and positive way. Just let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.